Scary leg spike. However, there we are. And finally the game started. Save was a bit late because he had to work probably, but he made it in time because he did say let's start at 11 and it is 11 GMT. And here we have a match between Tedere and Save Your Skill. Now, you have played versus Tedere, haven't you?
Oh, a couple of times maybe.
What can you tell us about him?
Well, it seems he's improved quite a lot. I mean, you can see in this tournament he's beaten some pretty good players to get to this round of 16. He's gone through Stella Winston. So yeah. I think this should be a pretty close match.
Interesting. He's chosen Dutch versus Otto. With the Otto Janissaries changes, what do you think of that versus Dutch?
Well, the Ottomans do have some nerfs and some buffs as well, so we'll see if he takes advantage of the better things of the Ottoman. Like the mosque was buffed, I believe. It has it costs less, right? And looks like he's building a TP, pretty standard for Otto, right?
Yeah, there are lots of tiny treasures left and right, but did you just see that the wood treasures are very close to each other? And it looks like Tedere has spotted both of them, whereas Save is just busy building trade poster, I think. He's just going to pick up 40 wood or 50 wood over here, that's all. But he has found another yak. And just the Dutch envoy is just so useful with his line of sight on this map to find all those remaining yaks. And you can see that he's first scouting the yaks on the side of Save, because he knows that he can eventually pick up the other yaks behind his own base later. And he's missing probably just one yak over here. I think there's one right, yeah, there are two out of his line of sight. But he has seen that there is a wood treasure over here, and as Dutch, 85 wood extra plus 80, that's half your bank right there.
Yeah, it looks like he's going for it. But the Ottoman explorer is right behind him.
Are they in line of sight of each other?
No.
No. But now he sees it. He must have seen it now. Also found two yaks, which is also really useful. And he knows now there's a wood treasure, and he's going for it. That's really nice for Tedere. Stealing away these yaks. And Save chooses not to go for the wood treasure. Do you think it was because he noticed that the yaks were stolen away? And that he knows?
Yeah, maybe, but he's also pretty low. He's already below half HP, so he might not even be able to take it.
Yeah. So Tedere is doing a really good job using its envoy, finding the yaks. And there's still a few behind its base. Let me take a look. It's about 2 left. So he's going to have at least 9 or 10 yaks available to him, which is definitely going to give him a nice boost, especially when you want to go to the 3rd age. That amount of yaks in your base can actually boost you a little bit, right? Because the banks just give you all the gold that you need. But usually for Dutch to age up faster, you need a bit more food. So this is going to help him quite a bit, I think. So that means actually that Otto should not stay in the 2nd age too long, right? Otto should age up as quickly as Dutch can. Don't you think so?
Yeah, probably. He does have the mask, so he's probably going for some a bit longer term strategy.
Yeah.
I like that he's moved his villager here next to the treasure, so that he could steal it from blue if he tries to go for it.
Yeah. Sejusku has now enough resources to age up, and he is, he is aged up and has a tremendous amount of food. So, as far as I'm concerned, he's going to send coin and it's going to go fast fortress. What do you think?
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Hold
going
on.
down.
Hold on, what just happened? He's sent a trade card. That's not very usual, I would say. He's traded all of his food for wood.
Isn't there usually like a ratio that you get more resources for it than you give? Or is it just 1 to 1?
I'm not sure what's the ratio, actually. We can probably see it in the deck.
This wood is going to, of course, help him create his
sure.
infrastructure, but what can you do with... Oh, that's what he wants to do with it. Look.
Oh, the trading posts, yeah.
Yep. I'm probably going for stagecoach later. And as we discovered, Eaglemut told us yesterday, and who was it again who played that game, and then the next game he realized it, and then he didn't build the trade post right after his town center, but in the way Safe is doing right now, because this is one single trade route and there's another one over here.
Yeah, that was slow yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's so funny. Yeah. Things you pick up during a stream, eh? Bank wagon coming down, and that is going to be his 5th bank. And yeah, this is always tricky, right?
Oh, he might just lose this bank though.
Yeah, just when you're building it, and then this nasty raid coming in. Those resources are lost.
Not much is lost. He will get back the resources.
Yeah, also the wood that he spent on building it. Just not all of it, right?
Not all of it, but
yeah.
Most of it. So it's not the end of the world, but...
Tedere is definitely doing a good job on minimizing his idling time. And yeah, I would be in the realms of isomcology. I mean, ISMK wouldn't, or ASMK wouldn't be too disappointed about that, I think. But, well done, quite well done. Tossed 6 villagers on gold whilst having 4 banks. What would you say about that?
Well, he's got 4 banks right now. I'm not sure if he's going to build that 5th one.
Yeah, he just needs more food, doesn't he?
Yeah, looks like he's maybe just going to age up with the 4 banks.
So a batch of Janissaries have moved all across the map. I'm trying to siege down the bank. Meanwhile, Safe seems to be fully committed to colonial age, right?
Yeah, does he have stagecoach? Yeah, he does have stagecoach already.
He doesn't seem to be saving his resources at all. And he has in total 14 Janissaries now. Oh, and that was really nice micro. Mr. Dijsselbloem.
Yeah, he's paid the price for it.
And that is so funny, because Dijsselbloem is the finance minister that has caused so much pain and suffering for the Greeks. So it's funny that they called him Dijsselbloem. Okay. Yeah, at this point Tedere has enough pop space. I don't know why he was building houses, but he hasn't got any military buildings up. He does have a considerable army in his base, so he's going to need to send a cart rather quickly. He sent one, shipment sent, or units in queue.
Yeah, he does need some infrastructure to get out some units.
I'm just interested to know which cart he has sent. Do you think it's going to be the Ruiters? That's what he's got. Oh, he's built a barracks over here, so he's.
Oh yeah.
He's able to build at least a few skirmishes, and well, Safe probably expected as much, so he's pulled his army back. But this Hussar army is, well, it's going to need a pretty impressive microing, but perhaps Tedere can do it. Was Tedere, when you played him, was he really good in microing?
Yeah, I think he's pretty good at it. He participated
well?
in the Tide to Micro tournament, I think.
This all looks a bit too close to my comfort.
I think it's going quite well for Tedere.
Yeah? I was about to say that Ottoman likes to fight this close up, whereas the Dutch would prefer to stay at a distance like this. Yeah. But indeed, Tedere has been able to clean this up quite nicely. He's got 4 skirmishes plus still 2 Minutemen alive, and a nice batch of Ruiters. And that is, as we saw in the game versus Lord, what's it again? This afternoon. Anyways, in the games this afternoon, we actually saw that it isn't Lord Raphael, but who is it then? Anyways, he stayed too long in H2 and had to pay the price for it.
Yeah, we may see that here as well. He's made an artillery foundry, which is probably what he needs to deal with these Reuters. Some Abus guns.
These Janissaries have managed to kill 1 Ruiter, and the Ruiters are trying to squeeze just 1 kill in there. Maybe they can. Oh, he missed it. There's 1 villager is going down. And I think Tedere is doing quite well here, pressuring Safe's eco over here in his army. Safe still doesn't have the resources to age up, but he's got... Can you see it? How many trade posts he's got? And he's waiting for his 6th, I think. Or his 5th. He's got 4. And he's trying to build the 5th over here.
Yeah, he's going for the double stagecoach.
That would be so amazing. So that means that Tedere has to move in as quickly as possible and take advantage of his technological advantage right now. Because as soon as Ottoman ages up, it's going to be really difficult for Dutch to handle this. Do you think so? Especially those Abus.
Yeah, but right now I think Tedere is kind of fine. There's not enough Hussar to really kill all those skirms. He's doing a good job at focusing these Abus guns. Oh, but now in mini mode the Jans are actually quite scary.
Yeah, the skirmishers are just being ripped apart. Especially those Ruiters, look at them. And he's he's not done a very good job of saving these Ruiters, because these generals just have their way with them with those bloody big swords. However, these Abus, Right is now in melee mode, so these Abus are going down much quicker now. He's going to be able to stabilize out here. And even with all that trade income, right, from his stagecoach, Save Your Skill still hasn't got the resources to age up. And the military unit population is clearly in favor of Tedere. Yep, Dijsselbloem is having it again.
Yeah, I mean, Tedere has still a great eco with his 4 banks. So he's able to reinforce his army quite fast.
Well, as a Dutch player myself, I would have liked to see 6 banks by now. Don't know, yeah, I don't know if this is a mistake. What do you think? Like, Tedere is investing heavily in his military, and at this point I would say, like, yeah, I do have the advantage. Let me invest in a few more banks, right?
He could make another bank.
Or at least I would try to get one of these trade posts down. I mean, even if you have only 2 pikes on it for like the duration of the game, eventually it will go down. And it's not ATP, right? No, it's just a normal trade post.
Yeah, it's just normal ones.
Yeah. More of those Abus attacking. Abus, by the way, is the Dutch word Haakbus. And as you can see, they put those guns on a hook, like a standard, and then they aim and fire on it, which is a Dutch invention, as it seems. Haakbus. Villages being sniped away, and I think this amount of skirmishes, 27, can easily one shot, one kill one of those Abus, and you can see it, right?
Yeah,
are just going down. And there you go. These Janissaries are not going to do anything against the army, which is right there in this time. Oh, Minutemen being called.
And he might be able to repel this attack.
Yeah. You should
for a
pull
little
back.
bit, but yeah, it's looking pretty tough for the Ottoman player, I would say.
This is perhaps this massive income that he has, right?
Yeah,
yeah?
I think the Ottoman player kinda needs to age.
Yeah. Although those added banks for Tedere means that he's around 20 fills ahead of save. So yeah, even with the stagecoach and all that XP income from the 4th TP, yeah, he's not been able to stabilize enough to gather enough resources to age up. And he's still spending it on more Janissaries. And a second arsenal. A second artillery foundry, right? Yeah. What would you make of that? Having 2 of them.
That's a bit weird. I guess he just wants to make more Abus more quickly. But what's even more interesting, he's just sent the Silk Road Guard. Which I don't... Yeah, that's like pretty bad, I would say, because he's already sent all of his resource shipments.
So he doesn't have any other left.
He has like... what does he have left? Maybe 600 wood? He does have the wood shipments. But it's something you usually ship first, because it boosts all of your shipments that you send afterwards.
Exactly, and so all that golden food that was sent, he's not had any profit from the Silk Road from it.
Yeah. Well, he has quite a few Abus. But they're still H2, so...
Some routers are being shut down though. The skirmish in mass, yeah. I would have expected a bit more right now. But has he built more banks now? Yeah.
He does have another bank here, yeah.
Yeah, he's added one bank, yeah.
He's
Okay,
actually made an arsenal.
Oh. Versus Abus.
But I don't think he's researched anything in the arsenal
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, probably just the Carousel or so for the Riders.
I don't see the upgrade researched yet.
Yeah. Which is a very expensive one to say, right? 200 food, 300 wood.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough wood probably.
And so now, just a second ago, Safe's army was rather small, but look at it now. It's considerably larger now.
Yeah, the second artillery foundry allowed him to get out some units pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And these Ebus do have both the cards from H2, so they are upgraded a bit at least.
Yeah, this looks like... Oh, did you see that?
Yeah, they're doing fairly well actually, despite being H2.
What I was trying to say is, like, I think Tedere is doing attack move, whereas Save Your Skill seems to do actual microing. Do you think so? Is he also attack moving?
I think he's also attack moving, actually.
Okay. Quite an interesting battle going on. Lots of skirmishes dropping down. Janissaries staying out of range. They have found these villagers. And 2 going down, 3. That's pretty nice. Skirmish is also being taken down. And it seems like Tedere is taking full advantage of his tech advantage. And scaling up quite nicely, okay? Because it used to be 70 versus 50 and now it's 51 versus 42. So he's doing quite well. And all those Abus are just dropping down. Look.
Oh, check out this. Oh.
Oh, wow.
Looks like that might have triggered the GG.
Yeah, it was really unexpected. How many fills did he lose? Do you see he has even the third mosque upgrade? The 600 wood? So he was producing villages at a really fast rate. But let's take a look at how many villages he lost. I can't, of course.
We can see it in the graphs. He's lost like 5. But he was about to lose more. Most likely.
Still, yeah, maybe Save just got annoyed by the fact that he couldn't push him out of his base enough, so they could age, maybe. But he was doing quite well.
Yeah, I don't know if it was completely over.
No, I don't think so either. But really interesting game, and this is going to make Tedere pretty confident about himself. Oh, this is the wrong game. And we also have to take into account that Tedere has been waiting for quite a while, and Save probably just got in a mad rush and just sat down and started straight away without even practicing, probably. So there is that as well.
Yeah.
Let me ask him. Right, let's not keep Tedere any longer then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
So Tedere already knows that we're playing on Florida. Florida is a really nice map, lots of food for trade posts, am I correct?
Yeah, there are like 4 trading posts. He's probably thinking what to pick.
Right. On Florida, that's probably just going to be... oh, he hasn't got it. I see.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe reselect. Yeah, in the previous game I really would have liked to see auto age up at some point, because the upgrades you get are really good. Like for the Abus, they even add some range. So you really want those upgrades.
Yeah, for him being all the way in the States.
Yes. Are you ready?
Looks like he's got the map, yeah.
Yeah, France always a good map on Florida, and safe. Going Dutch. Yeah, China is a bit better, of course. And I'm saying it's better because you can do a really quick, fast fortress with all those Huns around you. Also, it's wide open, so it's very easy to move your army through to the next player. And I think the rush timing, because the map is rather large, it doesn't really suit rush civs that well, does it?
Well, it's not the largest of maps, but there's also some sheep on the map, so that's probably good for China. But we'll see. Tedere's French is like his main civ, so he's going to be pretty strong here.
Yeah, until now we have seen that both players are really of equal skill. Like, that game could have gone either way.
Yeah, definitely.
Good. What I've got here. Hunts look pretty even, don't they? 4, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 in the back, 3 in the front. Yeah, just the spacing is a bit out of whack. Don't you think so?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's a lot closer to the Teder's base than for safe, but we shall see. A few nice treasures, left and right. And Save Your Skill is already going for the trade post instead of building a village.
Oh yeah.
What would you do as France on this map?
Oh, I would probably just try rushing. But I'm not so sure Tedere will do that.
Why would you say so? Does he favor to go H3?
Well, I'm not sure. But he does pick up a very nice coin treasure here.
105 coin, yeah, that is really nice. There are quite a few good treasures on this map, but they are a bit easier for the French explorer to take with his crack shot than for the Chinese explorer with his stun, because especially that one right at the bottom, that's a pirate. This is so difficult to kill, whereas you can just crack shot it with the French explorer. So
Yeah.
Safe is going to pick up 100 XP. That's really nice.
Looks like he's found another nice treasure over here. 60 food.
If you flare, do they see the flare? Or do I only see the flare?
Only you see the flare.
Oh, okay, good. I haven't flared the map because I was thinking, no, I can't give away the location of the treasures. Good. 60 food? I would definitely prefer the 100 XP, right?
100 XP.
Yeah.
You mean of the Chinese player? Yeah.
Yeah. The 60 food doesn't take too long to gather, whereas 100 XP, yeah, that is about 1 trade post pass. Don't you think so?
The thing is, I don't think he's going to utilize it right now, because he's already sent his first card and he doesn't even have any other cards for H1.
But he has 1 shipment stack now.
So it's only going to matter in the second age. Whereas the 60 foot will help the French player right now to age up a bit faster.
Yeah. Always nice as Chinese to have a bit of
And
wood.
he's going to find this treasure you talked about.
He's
This
going to
pirate.
take it, huh? That's a really nice one. It's very easy to kill. However, he's got only 157. Yeah, that's more than enough.
So we do have both players aging up.
Yeah, and he's finally putting down his trade post.
And the Chinese player is using 4 villagers to build his wonder.
4 villagers. Yeah,
But
I
he's
mean,
still going to be pretty far behind in the age up.
yeah, but that's quite to be expected if you play France, isn't it?
Yeah, it probably is. But he
judging-
did
yeah.
go for a bit slower build with the trading post.
Of course,
Chinese
yeah.
player. Yeah.
But I do like it. I think that's a pretty good strat for Chinese to do, because then you have all the more shipments to send in the second age. So if you are supposedly under pressure from the French player by, for instance, 5 cav, you can just have that pike shipment coming out, perhaps also the Chuknus to support it, or if you're left alone, you can easily send like the 700 wood and then the 700 gold. What do you think?
Yeah, looks like he might actually make use of that, because the French player is building some kind of a forward base here. So like you said, he might just send out some cav.
Oh, you mean here? That's a really smart placement.
Yeah, it's not something you usually see on this map, like a forward base over there.
You would definitely not expect any of cav coming from that direction, right? But as soon as the first batch arrives, then clearly you can guess where they're coming from. If they come straight from the front of your base, then you know the front base should be here.
Yeah, we can see the Chinese player trying to scout
Yeah,
and
they are
doesn't
coming
find
from the north.
anything.
Yeah.
700 coin coming from for the Chinese.
Yeah, so he's going to go for the fast fortress, I think. Hasn't got the consulate down yet, so he hasn't allied with any European civ yet. And there the first batch comes. 5 cav trying to get a few villages down. And the explorer has already scouted where they are.
They might get a villager.
Yeah, might even get 2. 1 going down, and he's saved the rest. That's pretty good. However, from the looks of it, Saviour's skill is going down. He's named the character after himself.
Yeah.
Okay. Poor Savior skill. Losing his
Yeah,
life.
both explorers going down.
So he's lost 1 hussar, right? 4 left.
Yeah, that was a fair trade.
Yeah.
And we can see the age up coming for Chinese already. And for the French as well, actually. So both players aging up.
Yeah, but these cav are getting some heavy damage done. And look at the placement of his native scout. That's really close, isn't it?
Yeah, I really like that placement.
I think if he just inches just literally a centimeter forward, then he would his
He would be
stealth,
spotted, yeah.
yeah, his stealth would be cancelled, right? By the trade town center. Here we see I think he didn't manage to get any villager down, right? And he's lost most of his hussars, so yeah.
Let's see how many villagers are lost.
He did manage to slow down things a bit, and has aged faster than Chinese could do. But yeah, 1 hussar. Oh, that villager might go down, and it does. Oh wow, that is worth all the trouble Save went through, or Tedere went through. And this is just so annoying for Save, because... Oh, and the scout has been discovered, being taken down by the Xiang pikemen. And I believe Dieter Wurst had some comments about the pronunciation. Dieter, I double checked. This is definitely from the Xiang dynasty. So these are the old units of China. Dragoons coming into the base. That's a bit rash, don't you think so? Very bold to just enter the base.
Yeah, they probably won't do much here.
Yeah. Well, they have been chased away by the Chokunu and Savior's Skill as well. At this point, what do you think Savior's Skill's game plan is going to be?
Well, he should start sending some shipments. Yeah, here we see the red codes, the intervention. That's kind of the first card usually sent as Chinese.
They're being met by the skirmishers.
And he's got some shipments saved up, right?
Yep. So what he needs now is either cav and some arquebusiers. And the arquebusiers are also from the Dutch word hagbus, but it's an upgraded version of the hagbus. Yeah, they are a type of skirmisher, as you can see. The pathing was just terrible. Did you see that?
Yeah, those sheep.
Oh, really? And you know, by the way that he moved his units, you could clearly see that he was hammering away on his mouse, probably. Oh, and the skirmishers just picking away at all those units. There they are. Shipment of 10 arquebusiers. Yeah, Changdao swordsmen hacking away at those skirmishers, being supported by all those ranged units. And those dragoons, yeah, there are not enough Changdao left anymore, right? To snare them. Right now it's just a matter of 10 arquebusiers versus 9 skirmishers. Oh, and those dragoons also getting a nice shot down there. And oh, and a few disciples came out. Yeah, that was really nice how the skirmishes were dealt with. But yeah, another batch of Changdaos and arquebusiers.
Yeah, and he's shipped some cav, but there are a ton of goons, so
Yeah.
he's probably going to use them just for raid, which could be pretty successful. There are some exposed villagers over here.
Oh yeah, damn. Don't you think China could send Manchus as an answer towards these goons over here?
Well, yeah, he's actually got 1,000 coins stacked up right now, so...
Or, well, I haven't seen an in
I think
depth yet.
he's just sent them right now.
Okay, but you also have this archers, right? The Ming archers. Ming is of course the Chinese dynasty that followed the Shang dynasty, and was originally from Mongolia and took over the imperial court in China and ruled China for the majority of history, actually, for quite a long time. Don't know exactly why those Ming archers are armored, but they look really cool. These coureurs de bois, literally I think coureur is walker in the woods, wood walker. These coureurs de bois, I don't know where they're headed, but they're being spotted by all these units over here. And yeah.
Yeah, the Manchus are here.
There they are. And the Manchus are going to save the day, right?
We got some cannons over here as well.
And look at those arquebusiers. 2 cannonballs, massacring all of them. And yet wisely choosing to run away from them. But
Yeah,
you should
I don't
also move
think-
this village.
don't think Manchus are enough here because he doesn't have anything but the Manchus really.
Yeah, he's doing a good job protecting those villages, but those villages should be moved even further away. Losing quite a few of these expensive Manchus. And yeah, it's got enough resources to make Han army. But yeah, it's just difficult versus all these units. France.
Yeah, the Chinese player has a bit of trouble finding resources together.
Do you remember when I said at the start of the game, the hunts for save your skill are a bit farther away? Do you remember?
Well, I think it's just how the game went. Blue just took a pretty good position here and took control of those hunts.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah.
At the same time, we had a pretty nice raid here, yeah, and actually we are having another raid over here.
Oh yeah. These Tedere12 are so strong. Like even even if cav units attack them, they're so good.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure if this is even a good trade for China.
It's losing a second Manchu.
Manchu are not the best trading units against CDBs.
Yeah, they did manage to kill off an equal amount of Tedere12, but one Tedere12 versus one Manchu, yeah, it's not quite certain whether it's worth it. Consulate being under attack by those cannons, and the cannons haven't been dealt with at all, right?
Yeah, they already
Zero
took
damage.
down. They already took down the Wonder actually.
And that as well. Save has instead chosen to attack, fighting these
Some Kurs going down here.
Kuroshis. Oh yeah.
Oh, this is not looking good for the Red Army.
Yeah, it's just caught out in the open by units all over, whereas the Kuroshis are running all over the map. And yeah, there they are, the shock troops. Those Kuroshis are definitely doing their job. And even though those meteor hammers have been able to kill off the cannons, there's still so many units left for the blue player.
Yeah, indeed.
Save your skill sends out a few more disciples, but I don't think it's going to be enough. More dragoons coming in from the north. And yeah, this looks quite painful for Save your skill to recover from. If he can. I'm not quite sure if he can.
Yeah, he's just lost this whole army.
He hasn't got the food to recover. He's only got a mine. He's just so strapped for food, looking all over the place for it. Whereas he's also chased the hunt by...
Yeah, he's trying to get this hunt now, but
Yeah.
blue might be coming there as well.
These meteor hammers. Yeah. Oh, iron flails. Shut down easily by their guns. And these meteor... Oh, there was a shipment of iron flails. Also being taken down by the guns. And the skirmishers have probably spotted that these Huns were taken, so they came here to check it out. I think this cav can do some damage, but not enough. to kill off this entire mass, right?
Actually, it's a pretty nice catch. I think they can kill quite a lot of skirms here. Yeah, that was really nice for China.
Yeah. And I do like the animation on those meteor hammers. Still some dragoons left though. There's a nice raid of cuirassiers, and as China, it's just so difficult to deal with these bloody cuirassiers. I mean,
yeah, it looks like this might be the GG. We got a lot of villagers going down both here and here.
Yeah. Yeah. That is truly the strength of these French units, huh? As soon as you have those cuirassiers on the field, you need to find an answer. And that answer was the Manchus, right?
Yeah, but he's kind of wasted his Manchus a little bit.
I do have to agree with what Safe is saying here, right? There was not enough food nearby. I could have heard it a few bit back, but because he didn't and he was under pressure. Let's just yeah.
I thought the hunts were fine.
Okay, but let's just decide next time to put it forward to them, right? And then he can decide.
All right.
I mean, it is probably just a really bad feeling that you're sat there playing the game and then you go like, shit, where are my hunts? So Safe has logged in for Dutch on Alaska. Took me a royal time to find this map on the list. That's also why I know where I can find it now. Alaska, a bit weird with a bit of water to the north, so it's going to be quite interesting to see it. No, he's saying down and seriously. Okay, no worries. Yeah, I do think it's regrettable. However, you are quite correct that he was pushed, and that is how the game went. That is true. I mean, China could have opted to go for some H2 play, and then he would have had the map. And the roles would have been reversed.
I think if the roles were reversed, it would just be pretty much the same. The hunts weren't so close to the other player either, in my opinion.
Okay.
So we got an Alaska here, or you can probably tell me the right pronunciation, right?
It would be an Inuit word probably. So Alaska is probably just how it's pronounced.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, Americans would say Alaska, but yeah, those Americans.
Yeah, so this is also one of the new maps on EP4. So I'm interested to see what will happen here.
Any new treasures as well as a Hazard's
Nope.
100 wood computer?
The new treasures are only on that one map.
Shame. All those treasures should be like that.
Yeah, we might make more in the future.
I want my own treasure as well. Radix's potato. 100 food. So, second match between Save and Tedere. Save really needs to win this one, and I think he can, right?
Actually, we got a third match, right?
Best of 5? So if he's already won twice, right? So if he wins this one, it's the third game, and then it's over.
Yep, that's it.
But let's hope that Save can change this and make the Dutch work for him, because I have played Save Your Skill, and his Dutch are incredibly good. I'm saying that as a Dutch player myself, and yeah, he sincerely outboomed me, and that is coming from a person who thinks that I can boom the F out of the Dutch, right? Like, if you see my cannon spam in H3 and H4, but Save just could do it faster, and I was really good at it. So let's hope and expect some cannon play. We haven't had any cannons, or only too little of them, I would say. A lot of routers, a lot of skirmishers. Is that what you think higher ranking players prefer?
Yeah, it does seem so.
Why is that? I do like my cannons.
I do like my cannons as well.
Yeah. Now, Save is picking up a really nice treasure. 60 wood. Always helpful, right? Has scouted this healer, this medicine man, this surgeon. Yeah, this might be just the noob inside of me saying that, but I like this one. If I can get it, I always do. Like, it's so nice to have that amidst your skirmishers, because they really pep the HP of a few skirmishers up, and that is just a no-brainer. It saves money, especially if you have cannons, right? If you have 4 cannons and one of them is a bit low on health, I would most definitely invest 200 gold in a monk. So if I can get the healer for free, yeah, that's a no-brainer for me.
Well, it's not so easy to take this treasure. It has 4 guardians.
True, it does take a lot of time. But even if you survive it with only 1 HP, you just stand there for a few seconds and you have 100 HP link back. The envoy is being spotted by the...
Meanwhile, he's going for perhaps an even more unstandard treasure, I would say. 2 stray sheep. That's not one you see picked up a lot, yeah.
Sheep. Surely that must have been for the XP. I mean...
And scouting. He's using the sheep.
Oh yeah. Quite smart.
We do see water decks from both players actually.
Oh, let's take a look. Oh, but I was told that if you check the decks, then there's a lag spike. So let's just wait and see what's going to happen and what kind of cards. But water play. Oh, on this map, definitely a viable option. And does it have whales as well? Yeah, it does.
It does have some whales.
To the north,
I'm seeing
right?
5 whales.
Yeah. It could be good. Could be good. Tedere now tossing all of his villages back on wood. So yeah, we would expect to see some manors coming out soon. Do you think a market would be an option soon? Do you think he's going to put down a market now?
Yeah, maybe.
There's one villager moving.
I don't know, when does he plan to go on the water? He does have put a forward market here actually.
Oh, it's already put it down there.
So it looks like he's trying to get a lot of vision on the map.
Hmm.
With all of those buildings. Oh.
Yep, just a word to the map makers, right? Perhaps the natives are merely like an afterthought to you, but Nutkas on the map, don't know. How do you feel about Nutkas?
Well, I recall Ace used them to some pretty great success in the last tournament, in the War Chiefs one, right? He's used them in the finals, I believe. Yeah, they are pretty interesting. Oh, we do see a forward barracks. So far it looks like he has no intention of just water booming.
I think he hasn't scouted it yet, has he? Well, he's going to, right?
He's going to now, probably.
This envoy clearly can see it, like that is within his line of sight. So he knows now there is some musketeers coming out soon. Maybe a small batch of longbowmen, but from the looks
he's
of
already making a wall.
Yeah. I would, yeah, as perhaps my strats, but I would have liked this bank in the front of the base. As I've said many times before, like in a straight line, as one of the strongest walls you can actually build. 4000 HP versus 1500. Ooh, pikemen moving in, probably taking down this house. This bank will be up just in time.
Will go up, yeah.
And this pikemen are just standing there doing nothing. Why is that? Like being shot at. And he's not putting them into cover mode, so yeah. That's one shot.
Oh, but the TC is targeting the Explorer now.
Oh, that is regrettable. That is very regrettable. They should be... Oh, he's retasked them. And Dazzlebloom... Oh, Save Your Skill has moved in. Minutemen be called.
Minutemen. Yeah, I don't think I agree with those Minutemen. Because the house was already down, so there's nothing they can really do.
I am sorely grieved. I may not steer a...
Well, he has forced these pikemen back. So perhaps he knew more pikemen were on the way because his envoy was standing there.
Oh, right.
And he tried to hide them behind the house, but he was still spotted. So he knows those villages are there as well. So yeah, these Minutemen might get some really good use. Oh, they're on cover mode. There we go.
Funny to see these Minutemen just assaulting this base of the blue player.
Yes. And there we have one batch of longbowmen, and yeah, that is the end of the Minutemen.
Yeah, that's going to be enough to repel this attack.
But he's managed to save at least 5 of them. That's quite a lot. So yeah, if he can mix them up with a few other units, could be quite good. Another piece of wall going up, presumably to protect his food gathering from the longbows. And I think Save Your Skill is about ready to age. And he has done quite a nice job of herding those moose.
Yeah, he could probably get this hunt as well.
Yeah.
A bit closer.
To the south, right? And there's one to the north, but that's really far away. And yeah, the other hunts are being taken by the FB, so he can't reach them. So yeah, he either needs to get on berries or start a dock. I like the placement of the market over here. Really shields off this corner without being under attack from the pikes, because losing your market, especially when you're desperate for like maybe 50 food or maybe a few bit more coin, that's just so annoying. These 3 villages a bit idling down. Hussars coming out. So yeah, Tedere is going to push in with everything he's got.
Yeah, he's seen the age up.
Yeah, and do you think Saviorsco is going to send routers? Or cannons? No, it does, yeah, Dutch has only 1 cannon.
He cannot send cannons, yeah. So it's probably going to be maybe the skirms?
Skirms versus longbowmen
Or the reiters?
aren't really the best option there is there? These villagers are being caught out by the hussars, have to walk past those longbowmen, which is not very good. But he does manage to save most of them. Now these calf.
Yeah, he did send the skirms. But it's not so good right now, because these 4 hussars can actually take them out.
Yeah, the investment of those 4 hussars and resources are really paying off right now.
Yeah, for sure, and he doesn't even have a stable, the Dutch player, so he cannot make any reiters.
This bank is about to go down. More pike moving in. More hussars added to the mix as well. And at this point, what is that Save can do?
He's building a secret stable over here.
Yeah. But this mass of pikemen are going to be able to take down this town center before he can have a batch of hussars out, right?
Yeah, he sent Colonial Militia. I don't know, did he have the resources to get them out?
No.
Yeah, he did.
Oh. So he might be able to save his town center, hopefully. Does he have the 2 caravel card? Because if he
he'll probably get a shipment pretty soon.
Yeah.
Probably Reuters will come or something.
I would send the caravels if he has them.
Actually,
Yeah.
that was the Colonial Militia.
If he has the caravels over here, they could get a few shots on these longbowmen. Okay. Right?
Yeah, it looks like this won't be enough to save this town.
Yeah. Which is really sad, because yeah, save just needed maybe a minute more or so, 2 minutes more, right? And so nicely done. And here we see that Tedere has proven to be a pretty darn good player, right?
Yeah, he's moving on to the round of 8.
Yeah, you just see that Tedere has more military, even though the save killed quite a lot of them. Just didn't manage to stabilize and get all those units out, and in the end had so much military left in his base that he couldn't handle it. Although resource gathering is almost the same. Lots of coin as well. Look at the EP Dutch bank line. Oh, God, almost 6,000. Yeah, maybe if he had chosen a different deck with a few mercs, perhaps. I don't know. Just there's lots of maybes and buts and ifs, so maybe if the walls were a bit stronger, maybe if I had put all those banks in the line and closed this off, and so the hussars couldn't get in and the longbowmen, maybe if he had more food in his base, I don't know, like maybe if he hadn't gone for 4 banks or 5 banks but for only 2 or 3 banks. I don't know, there's so many strats for Dutch. To age up fast, you could age up with 2 banks and put like 4 or 5 villages on the mine and get your gold gathering like that way. Don't know.